Back.
Thank you, Representative Kane. I now recognize Representative Fine for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for letting me wave on today for this important subject. I'd like to perhaps give my perspective on all of this, because I think it's important, and maybe I'll have a couple questions. In 1948, two states were created as the British left that part of the world. There was an Arab state in Jordan, and there was a Jewish state in Israel. But the Arabs could not be content with those two states. They decided they wanted to have one. And a war broke out, a war that has gone and starts and stops ever since. Now, rather than call themselves Jordanians, they invented a new name, the name of Palestinians, to try to imply a third state should be created. And in 1967, that war that started in 1948 continued, and Israel won territory back from the Jordanians. Now, in the United States, when we fought wars and we have won territory, we generally keep it. And that's typically the way the world works. But somehow when it comes to Israel and it comes to the Jews, when they win a war that they don't start, somehow it is they are supposed to give back the land that they have thus won. But nonetheless, Israel has gone along with this fiction and tried to create not a second state, but a third state. It was tried in 2005 in Gaza, when not only did Israel make Gaza Judenrein, they not only removed every living Jew from Gaza, they dug up dead Jews to take them away. And they said, here you go, Gaza, enjoy your border with Egypt, enjoy your access to the ocean, go live long, prosper, turn yourself into a Dubai or a UAE. And we saw how that worked out. Water pipes, instead of being used to make water, were turned into rockets. Concrete, instead of being used to create schools, were turned into tunnels. So despite the fact there effectively was a third state, the state of Gaza, we saw how that turned out. And so now we're faced with what do we do in Judea and Samaria? A place I would note in Judea was the first capital of Israel in Shiloh. When Moses didn't make it across, when everybody else made it across, that's where they ended up. And again, in Hebron, where the most important people in the Jewish faith are buried. This is where the Jewish people come from. But somehow, what do we do with this area now? And so I think about the segregation that I saw the first time I went to Judea and Samaria, and I'd like to read you from a sign. We hear about the apartheid state of Israel, and it is partly true. There is apartheid in Israel. I want to tell you, as I was driving through Judea and Samaria, a sign that I saw, I can't find it real quick, but it basically said, in this area, Jews may not enter. This is a part of the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, whatever you want to call it. And the sign literally says in English, in Hebrew, and in Arabic, Jews may not go here. I'm not aware of anywhere that is controlled by Israel where they say Arabs cannot go, where they say Christians cannot go. So my question, I guess, to you, Mr. Klein, is when you are dealing with a group of people who continually call for the destruction of the state of Israel, who are okay with signs that say Jews may not enter these areas, we want to be free of Jews, how do you make peace with that? How do you create a long-term solution with that? Or is there another way that we have to go?
Of course, the reason Jews are not permitted to go there is because there's a huge likelihood that they'll be murdered by Arabs who live there. Arabs can walk anywhere they want. There's no problem, no danger. I'll say something that really the president of Egypt first said, al-Sisi. He said there needs to be a reformation of Islam. A reformation of Islam which accepts Israel as a Jewish state, which no longer promotes violence and terrorism, which so many of the imams promote, and nobody wants to talk about. They're afraid of being called Islamophobic.
I'm not afraid of that.
And there has to be as President Trump demanded, a reformation of the Palestinian Authority. And we should be demanding now, not say now. I hear rumors that they're going to wait 2 years for them to disarm. They have to disarm right now, Hamas. They have to know they're going to get nothing unless they start transforming their ways. So,
thank you.
There has to be a reformation, really, of Islam.
And as my time comes to an end, I would simply say this. I don't know how you make peace with those who seek your destruction. I think you destroy them first. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
thank the witnesses. I do want to recognize